Hello, stars. My name is Blue, and today we are lost in Morgan and the Sunglare. It's been a while since one, I've recorded Morgan and the Sunglare, and two, since I've recorded at all. I won't go too deeply into my problems as to why I haven't been, but I deeply apologize. I do still really love this channel, and I am going to do my best to keep up with it. I want to, get to the point where I'm uploading every day. But we need to get back into the basics of uploading every other day, excluding weekends. But we're halfway done with this. We're gonna try to knock it out, and this in part, we'll see how that goes. It also depends on my stamina for this, but let's go, I guess. Alliance forces in the Seoul Theater fall under the command of Admiral Steele, a man with the Kinshasa hot contour looks and winter-still eyes. Sometimes he gives interviews, and sometimes they leak across the divide. Overwhelming violence, he answers, asked about his methods. The the strategic application of shock. They're gentle people, humane, compassionate. Force them into violent retaliation and they'll break. The Ubuntu philosophy that shapes their society cannot endure open war. Some of your critics abuse you of atrocity, the interviewer says. Indiscriminate strategic bombing, target killings against members of the civilian government in Seoul. Steele puts his hands together, palm to palm, fingers lace, and Laporte would absolutely bet a bottle cap that the sorrow on his face is genuine. The faster I end the war, he says, the faster we can stop the killing. My conscience asks me to use every tool available. So you believe this is a war worth winning? That the Security Council is right to pursue a military solution to this crisis? Steele's face gives nothing any human could read, but Laporte, she senses determination. Not my call to make, he says. This happens after the intervention. After Sims teaches Laporte to be a monster, or lets her realize she already was. After they manage the biggest cop of the war. Words. The capture of the Aegon Court. Before they fall into the sun, though. They take some leave time, Sims and Laporte and the rest of the Indus pilots in the Yangtze Air Wing too. Karen Nig has the cabin of Tharsis National Park. On the edge of Mars' terraformed valleys, Olympus Mountains fills the horizon like the lip of a battered you know this word. 6-kilometer peak scraping the edge of the atmosphere, like a bridge between where they are and where they fight. Barbecue on the shore of the Marineries Reserve. Wow, it's been a while since I've read. The lake is meltwater from impacted comets, crystalline and still. The Levy won't swim in it because he swears. And Levy won't swim in it because he swears up and down it's full of cyanide. They're out of uniform, and Laporte should really not take this as an excuse, but, well, discipline issues. She finds Sims walking the shore. Boss, she says. Laporte, no call sign. Sims winds up and hurls a stone. Doesn't even skip once. Hit, pierces, vanishes. The glass of their reflection shatters and reforms. Sims chuckles, a guarded sound, like she's expecting Laporte to do something worth reprimand. Like she's not sure what she'll do about it. Been on Mars before? Pretty much, Laporte mumbles, hoping to avoid this conversation. She was at Hella's for Martin Mandho's speech 10 years ago, but she was a snotty teenager, earth-sick, and single-handedly ruined Mom's plan to see more of the world. Never with a native guide, though. Tourist girl. Sims tries skipping again. Fuck! Boss, you're killing me. Laporte finds the flat stone chip, barely weathered, and throws it. But Mars gravity... Hey, Mars gravity is a good excuse for that. Mars gravity, she pleads, while Sims laughs, while Laporte thinks about what a bad idea this is, to let herself listen to that laugh and get drunk. Fleet says no fraternization. They walk for a while. You really hate them? Laporte asks, forgetting whatever wit she had planned the instant it hit her tongue. The colonists? The alliance? Sims squints up Olympus ways, one boot up on a rock, an archetypical typical. Okay. Pioneer minus that awful mulligan chew everyone here adores. What's the alternative? Didn't you go to school? Unbuttoned 2 never found so many ears on hardscrabble Mars. They gave it to us every day on Solaris. Love them, understand them, regret the killing. Ah, right. He has a husband, I remember. I remember shooting him. May you find peace, I pray, uncaging the seekers. Sim rolls the rock with her boot, flipping it, spinning it on its axis. And you had this in your head the first time you made a kill? You cut into the merge and lined up the shot thinking about your shared humanity? I guess so, Laporte says. A good person would have thought about that, so she thought about that. But it didn't stop me. Sims let the rock fall. It makes a flinty cap. She eyes Laporte. No? You weren't angry? You didn't hate? No. She thinks of Kism. It was so easy for me. I thought I was sick. Huh, Sim says, chewing on that. Well, can't speak for you then, but it helps me to hate them. Hate's inhumane, though. Words from the conscious she kept buried all these months. It perpetuates the cycle. I wish the universe gave its power to the decent, protection to the humane. Sim shrugs. In her shoulders and her lips. But I've only seen one power stop the violent, and it's a closer friend to hate. She's less cultish here, down here. Like she's got more time for every motion. Like she's set aside her haste. Hey, Laporte says, pressing her luck. When I transferred in, you were in a tough place. Sims holds up a hand to ward her off. You can see the ships, she says. Mars is a little world with a closed horizon, and when she looks up, Laporte feels like she's going to lose her balance and fall right off. Out past Phobos, like a waiting wolf pack, and to the Eos Dawnbringers from over the horizon. She takes a step closer to Sims, towards the sanction that keeps her down. High up, some warships drive flickers. I was pretty sure, Sim said, that everyone I knew was going to die, and that I couldn't stop it. That's where I was when you transferred in. And now, Laporte asked, still watching the star, is a lot further away, a lot safer. Jury's out, Sim says. Laporte's too skittish to check whether she's joking. Look, moonrise. You gotta tell me a secret. Are you fucking with me? Native guide, Sim says, rather smugly. When I was a kid, Laporte said, I had an invisible friend named Ken. He told me I had to watch ants in the yard go to war, red ants, and the black ones, and that I had to choose one side to win. He said it was the way of things. I got the garden hose and I took him really seriously. Sim starts cracking up. You're a loon, she chokes. I'm glad you're on my side. I wonder what we'll do after this, Laporte says. Sim sobers up. Don't think about that. It'll kill you. Laporte listens to the flight data recorded on the training shorty. The triangle with the Nyx wolf pack, just to warm her hands on the fire, to tremble at the inarticulate beauty of the flight. Am spiked, music up, bandit, my 7 high, 1500 aspect attack. Click. Leading support! The record is full of warbling alarms. The voices of a ship trying to articulate. Fuck you, computer. Every kind of danger. Anchor at your turn. Anchor your turn at. Ah, fuck it. Just break low. Break low. Padlocking. Kill him, boss. Guns. A low, smooth exhalation. Sims breathing out on the trigger. Guns. Nice. Good kill. Bandit, you're 9. Low. Break left. Everything's so clear. So true. Flying with Sims, there's no confusion. They respond to a distress call from a civilian vessel suffering a catastrophic reactor failure. Indus jumps on scene to find an Alliance corvette, Arthusa, already providing aid to the civilian. Both sides launch fighters, slam down curtains of jamming over long-range communications, and prepare to attack. But neither of them have enough gear to save the civilian ship. The colonists don't have a medical suit for all her casualties. Indus can't provide enough gear to stabilize her reactor. Captain Sorensen negotiates a truce with the Arthusa commander. Laporte circles Indus, flying wary patrol, her fingers on the master arm switch. Some of the other pilots talk to the colonists on guard. They talk back, their accents skewed by 50 years of linguistic drift, their humanity still plain. One of the enemy pilots' call sign, Anasai, ask for her by name. There's a bounty on her head, an enemy ace initiative, and smart-ass Anasai wants to talk to her and live to tell. She mutes the channel. When she stops and thinks about it, she really doesn't believe this war is necessary. So, it's quit. Or don't think about it. That's what Sim taught her. You go in the light. You throw away everything about yourself that doesn't help you kill. Strip down, sharpen up, weaponize your soul. Another Federation frigate, Hesperia, picks up the distress signal. Picks up the jamming, assumes the worst. She has no way to know about the truce. When she jumps in, she opens Arthusa's belly with her first salvo, and everything goes back to being simple. Laporte gets Anasai. She's pretty sure. Fresh off the Egan coupe, they make a play for the... Focus. They make a play for the Carthage, Indus, Yangtze, Altane Ode, Katana, and Sims, riding herd of 3 squadrons. It's a trap. Still's been keeping his favorite piece, the hunter-killer and Imperize in the back low. She makes a shock jump. Spinel guns, hungry. Everyone dies. The last thing Report hears before she makes a crash landing on Indus's deck is Captain Sims calling out to Karenig, begging her to abandon Yangtze, begging her to live, but Karen won't leave her ship. Indus jumps blind, destination unplotted, exit vector unknown. The crash transition jumps to her hangar deck, shatters her escape pods and their mounts. She falls into light. So Laporte was wrong in the end. The death of everyone Sims knew was inevitable. Monsters when Laporte stacks her bottle caps and waits for Sim to offer her word. her a word. The game is just a way to pass the time. No real speech. Not like the chatter, not like the brevity code. Out there, they could talk. And is that why they're alive? Just the two of them? Even Levi. It's Levi, isn't it? Yeah, it's Levi. Old hand Levi came apart at the end. First in his head when he saw the body spilling out of Altamode. And then in his cockpit when the guns found him. But Sims and Laporte, they flew each other home. Home to die in this empty, searing room with the bolted down framed chairs and the bottle caps and their cells rotting inside them. Or maybe it's just that Sims hate it harder than anyone else, hesitated the least, and Laporte, well, she never hesitated at all. It's my fault we're here, Laporte says, even though it's not her turn. Yeah? Sims got red in her eyes, a tremor in her frame. If I hadn't listened to Karen's note, if I hadn't done whatever I did to wake you up, if they'd never met, Natriba would never have picked Indus for the task force. We wouldn't have been at the ambush, wouldn't have watched the Enterprise kill our friends. All you did was fly my wings, Sim says. Not your fault. But she knows exactly what Laporte's talking about. Sim picks up a bottle cap and puts it in between them. I'm transferring you to Eris, she says. Natriba's flagship, on track for Squadron Command. Bullshit. Because they're not going to live long enough to transfer anywhere. Sims wraps the cap in her shaking hand and draws it back. I already put the order in, she says. Just in case. It does its alarm shrieks and stops, summoned from damage control, silencing the obvious. Beams of ionizing radiation piercing through torn armor, arcing through the crew spaces as Indus trembles and falls. Is this the time to just give up on protocol? To get her boss by the wrist and beg, wait, stop, please, let me explain, let me stay. We'll make it. Rescue will come. We'll fly again. But she gets it. She's got that Ubuntu empathy bug. She can feel it in Sims. The old brakes splintering again. I can't watch these people die. Laporte's the only people she's got left, so Sims has to send her away. Boss, she said. You taught me. Without you, I wouldn't. Killing. It's like falling into the sun. You've got all this compassion, all this goodwill keeping you in the human orbit. All that civilization that everyone before you worked to build. And somehow, you've got to lose it all. Only Laporte never. Without me, Sim says. And she's got no mercy left in her tongue. You'd be fine. You'll be fine. You're a killer. That's all you need. No reasons, no hate. It's just you. She lets her head low back and exhales hard. The lines of her arched throat kink and smooth. Fuck, she says. It's hot. Laporte opens her hand, asking for the cap. She doesn't have the spit to say true. Captain Sims makes herself comfortable, flat on her back across 3 chairs. Your turn, she says. Boss, Laporte rasps. Fuck. Excuse me. She clears her throat. Might as well go for it. It begs to be said. Boss, But Sims is gone. She's asleep. Breathing hard. It's lethargy. The radiation pulling her down. Giving her some peace. Laporte calls a medical team. While she waits, she tries to find a blanket, but Sims seems to prefer an uneasy rest. She breathes a little easier when Laporte touches her shoulder, though. And Laporte thinks about clasping her hand. But no. That's too much. Oop. Federation ships find them. The Black Ops Frigate running signals intelligence in deep orbit, Pics and distressed cries from the solar background. Salvage team scrambled to make her ready for one last jump to salvation. Laporte's waiting by her captain's side when they come for her. The medical team. The woman with still eyes. Laporte, the new woman says. The Ignis Ace came looking for you. By instinct and inclination, Laporte stands to shield her captain from the gray-clad woman, from her absent insignia and hidden rank. She can't figure out a graceful way to drop the bottle cap, so she just holds it like a switch for some hidden explosive, for the grief that she wants to get out any way it can. I need to stay with my squadron leader, she says. If I'm reading this order right, Steel Eye says, though she's got no paper or tablet, and the light in her iris makes the little crawling signs. She's shipping you out. She opens one glove, an invitation. I'm Federation Network, elite of the elite. I'm recruiting pilots for ugly jobs. Laporte hesitates. She wants to stay. Wants it like nothing she knows how to tell, but Steel Eyes stares down, and her gaze cuts deep. I know you like you wouldn't begin to believe, she says. I've watched you learn what you are. We don't have many of your kind left here in Seoul. We've made ourselves too good, and it's killing us. Please, Laporte croaks. I can't leave her. The woman from the eclipse depths of the Federation intelligence extends her open hand, a gesture of compassion, though she's wearing tactical gloves. What do you think happens if you stay? You're not going to stop changing. Naomi? You're never going back to humanity. She sighs a little. Not a hesitation, maybe an apology. This woman, here, this loyalty you have, you're going to be an alien to her. Laporte doesn't know how to argue with that. Doesn't know how to speak her defiance. Maybe because Steel Eyes is right. Ubuntu, the woman says, is a philosophy of human development. We have a use for everyone. Even in times like this. For us monsters. But she got left. What the fuck else is there? She gave it all up to become a better killer. Humanity's just a dead weight on her trigger. Nothing but Sims and the wreckage and the poison sunlight. You know we're losing still, I said. You know we need you. Ah. That's it. The thing she's been trying to say. Monsters kill because they like it. And that's all Laporte had until this new thing. This fragile human thing. Until Sims. Something worth fighting for. A small, stupid, precious reason. Laporte gets down on her knees, puts herself as close to the salt sand cap of Sim's hair as she's ever been, and says it the best way she knows how. Promising herself. Boss, she whispers. Hey. I'll see you when we win. How long has it been? It's been 24 minutes. Well then. I should have seen that coming, honestly. That was Morrigan and the Sunglare. It's a really good story. I really like it. You should read it for yourself and gain your own interpretations if you haven't. I know listening to someone read is easier, but sometimes you just gotta read things yourself for them to hit, right? But yeah, we finished it! I thought I had so much more. I could have finished it in the first video, but I didn't. Anyway. I will try to get back onto my normal schedule of uploading every other day excluding weekends. And, yeah. That's it for today's adventure. If you liked the video, please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already to join our wonderful galaxy. Comment down below and I will get back to you in some way or another. And We're all made of the same cosmic dust, so be nice. Okay, love you. Bye!